Just when we thought we'd seen it all when it comes to player rivalries, Pele versus Maradona, Messi versus Ronaldo, a brand new one has come into the fray with Kylian Mbappe versus Erling Haaland. Today we'll be writing history between these two wonder kids who are poised to be next for the throne, Ballon d'Or contenders, potentially GOATs in the making. If you're an OG viewer, you know this was a series we did back in FIFA 20, so over a year later we've decided to bring it back. And in that time, YouTube removed the polls feature, so you guys can't get involved and have your say in the votings, but at least you can do it down in the comments below. In today's video, we're back putting them up in a regen battle, letting the future and career mode decide who wins the rivalry in the long term. By forcing them to retire in season 1, waiting for their regens to respawn come the second season and pitting them up against each other, comparing their stats and growth season after season to see which regen will reign supreme. It's one of the more interesting concepts we came up with last year that you guys seem to have enjoyed, and here they are in season 1, both retiring at the end of it. They're hanging up the boots, the Norwegian Viking and the French poster boy. It feels weird to see these two retiring right at the start of career mode, but it's for the future, the bigger picture, it's for the content. I love how as soon as we thought we'd saw the last of Messi versus Ronaldo at club level, Haaland wasted no time igniting the flames between him and Mbappe after he got the hat-trick at the new camp. It's going to be thrilling seeing what these two can do in the next 10 years or so, but today that's not happening. Let's go ahead and see what their regens are looking like. Just a quick tip for anyone want to try to find regens out there. These are the current parameters I have it on. In season 2, I'm searching for a French player in Ligue 1, which is the league that Mbappe retired in. In this instance, he's going to be a striker, so we've set that to his position and age between 16 and 21. Submit search, and we're obviously going to get a bunch of results, but the regen is surely hiding in here somewhere, and there he is, Romain Zedadka. Not the most French name I've ever seen. It doesn't scream Sacré Bleu from the get-go. However, the 18-year-old striker, valued at £9 million, has potential to be special. That is exactly what you want to see, and of course he can play all the positions that Mbappe did: striker, left wing, right wing. He's already got 99 balance, sprint speed and acceleration in the 90s. No traits or attributes, but already has got a high attack and work rate, 3-star weak foot, which is pretty decent, and he's 5'9". This is a gift sent from the gods. Marseille fans must be cheering right now, and the Mbappe regen is here. Same deal goes for Erling Haaland, as he's Norwegian, still a striker. The age parameter stays the same, it's just the nationality and the league that is going to be switched up, and we get our result. This time it's more definitive. A Norwegian striker in the Bundesliga for Hamburg, Noah Elesami. Just like Mbappe's regen, he has potential to be special, proving Haaland retired for the greater cause right here. This is who he's going to be matched up against in the golden boots, Norway's golden Viking, and he's got some telling stats already: 98 agility, 94 balance, 95 sprint speed, and 99 acceleration from the get-go. Already proving to have world-class tendencies and attributes in the locker, high work rates, and 5-star skill moves from the left-footed 5'8" striker. He can only play in and up top, that's his only position, and he's valued at £5.5 million for the new boys in the Bundesliga. Back to the top flight, let's hope he can keep them up, and with Marseille, it'd be interesting to see if Zedadka can get any game time in an already established top flight team. Now that we know we're going to be tracking both Zedadka and Alessami's career, let's start simulating and let's see how they perform in their first professional seasons. To check in on their stats, we'll be switching between clubs, following their careers, seeing where they go transfer wise. Now to get the most in-depth look at the club and the players to see how Mbappe's regen is going, we're going to sort it out by striker actually, just to see his competition. And right here you can see there are so many strikers on the bench. They've got Courtrone, Milik, Benedetto, but here you go, 48 appearances for Roman Zedadka. They're not afraid to give him a baptism of fire, already awarding him the number 10 jersey, and in 48 games he scored 15 times, getting himself 4 assists as well, 19 goal contributions for the Frenchman, and Mbappe's regen is off to a flyer. Looks like him and Arkadiusz Milik will be leading the line up top. A fascinating striker partnership right there from the bounce. Looks like his attributes: stamina is up in the dark greens, we've got 89 ball control, 94 curve, 82 shot power, and 86 dribbling already at 19 years of age, financially worth £24.5 million, and he's subjected to a 3-year contract here at the French Giants. Will they be able to keep hold of him for 3 years? We'll find out. Taking the lead so far, it's 1-0 to Mbappe. Now could Alessami do the same for his newly promoted Hamburg side? We'll take a look and see the striker competition he's got: Simon Terode, Bobby Wood, and of course the Norwegian. Haaland's regen, how did he fare this season? Only with 2 appearances. He got himself a goal in the relegation match, so they must have got relegated. I don't know. They might be back down in the second division. Not the best start for Haaland's regen in a side where you'd think he'd get plentiful game time, the manager preferred 34-year-old Terode to lead the line. Unfortunately for him, his development has taken a setback, up to a 75 overall. Mbappe's regen's probably won this season, but there is still a long way to go. Valued at £13 million on the transfer market, that is definitely one to forget. Onwards to season 2, where Alasami can hopefully fire this club back up to the top flight. You know what, I know the polls feature got removed from YouTube. We're used to it happening in career mode already, features getting removed for no reason, but let us know down in the comments below. After this video is done, who do you think came out on top? Who's the best, Mbappe's regen or Haaland's regen? And we're back at Marseille for the end of season 2. Zendadka got off to a flyer, but let's see if the Mbappe regen could follow it up with a campaign to remember. No second season syndrome here, as Lucas Nemanja actually outperforms him. The German with 51 appearances, his brand new strike partner, and you can see there he's basically replicated his numbers and output from season 1. 15 goals and 7 assists, just with a bit more game time. 51 appearances, he's crossed the half-century mark, and still, for a 20-year-old playing in the top flight, 81 overall, I think he's the best player at the club. Still has that potential to be special, and in a team playing a 5 at the back formation, that is a success. Sitting at an 81 rating, in good form, dropping an average match rating of 7.0 as his valuation now skyrockets up to £56 million. Okay, apparently Hamburg stayed in the Bundesliga. Bad judgment by me, I didn't actually check it, I just assumed it. They survived the relegation playoff and they've stood in 13th, so I assume Alasami has been a main protagonist in terms of their survival hopes this season. And in the top flight, Noah has reached 79 overall, so still 2 overall points behind Mbappe's regen, but his stats this season, finally he's getting the game time he deserves. 35 appearances, he's a lone wolf, the lone striker in up top. 10 goals in 35 appearances for Haaland's regen, 13 goal contributions in there as his development skyrockets. He's only in okay form, but he has 299 stats to report, and he's absolutely rapid. 99 sprint speed and 99 acceleration. 97 ball control, 90 dribbling, and 86 shot power isn't too bad whatsoever. The finishing is only at 66, which is surprising, takes me back. However, in terms of the financial sector, he's still just got that little bit edge behind Mbappe right now, lagging behind just slightly thanks to that not so good first season, now valued at £38.5 million. It's been 2.5 seasons to remember for Romain Zedadka, as his brilliant performances at Marseille have earned him a £93.9 million move to Chelsea over here in January of 2024. He's swapping one blue for another, and he is going to make his mark in the Premier League. The 21-year-old arrives at Stamford Bridge, and he's earned himself a spot in the top 3 deals of the window. With attacking competition like Michy Batshuayi and a prime Alexander Isak, let's see how he fares and competes alongside some of his fellow Chelsea players. Is this the right home for him? Was this the right career move? Let's cross over to the man that hasn't gotten much attention or transfer spotlight this video so far. We're going to Hamburg to see Alasami, who's now up to an 83. That has put him in good stead to be the best player at the club. Still at 21 years of age, the Norwegian maintaining that potential status of has potential to be special. And in terms of his stats, no, he's gotten better in terms of his personal development. His output this season has only been 8 goals and 2 assists. Never mind, his 10 goal contributions has kept up his club. They live to fight another day in the Bundesliga. In terms of development, he has grown up a 4+4 to his overall this season. The left footer, spellbinding stats in there on paper, dark greens in every single physical attribute. We can add 99 ball control to the list of maxed out stats, but the likes of dribbling, shot power is on the way. Finishing really needs to be improved. I can't really put any development plans on him considering the CPU is managing his career, so let's just hope that grows organically, as the Viking Haaland's regen has now garnered a value of £74 million. Now, how has Mbappe's regen done in the first season, as a blue has the pressure of playing at Stamford Bridge week in, week out gotten to him, as Chelsea finished 3rd in the Premier League. Alexander Isak is their starting striker, so I'm not predicting too much game time. Being surrounded by world-class players though has increased his overall, it's improved his game in general. 21 and has potential to be special. He's not very happy about his game time. The now 86 rated striker, as he only received 8 appearances and they were all in the Europa League. What was Chelsea thinking? Insane stuff there. The switch up from France to England, it's a very different ball game. We don't have his stats from the first half of the season, nor can we receive them, so I guess we'll just never know. It's up in the air, as he's now started to get some 99 stats on the board, which include acceleration, balance, sprint speed as well, and he has some in the 90s already. The technicals are looking picture perfect. Finishing is what these two lack the most. They both have pretty low finishing for a striker, definitely something to improve on. Only 73 for Zedadka. I reckon give him a couple of more years. Alexander Isak is at an 86 as well. He's in excellent excellent form. Let's hope that didn't ruin it for his dynamic potential, as the French regen is now valued at £138.5 million. Will he be representing France or his nation in the near future? The new Chelsea boy. The world is his oyster, but you know what? Let's give him the number 9. I want to see if he can cope well under the Chelsea number 9 pressure. France have already called him up to the national squad. The two-time world champs have got him starting up top with Martial in a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. An interesting approach from Didier Deschamps. Nothing but pace in the attack for Les Bleus. Let's see how well they can do in this Euros campaign as we switch on over to Norway. And unfortunately, Al-Assami isn't in the Nordics plan so far. Out of both nations, it's only France who have qualified, and they're in a group with England, Denmark, and Wales. There is how Euro 2024 played out. The Germans, the hosts, take back the crown. Italy couldn't defend their title, and they are Campione d'Europa 1-0 against Belgium in the final. But how did France do? Zadadka came second to the Three Lions. There you go. In the quarterfinals, they were knocked out to the eventual finalists of Belgium, as England were knocked out on penalties to Hungary. Did Zadadka have any input whatsoever? Let's find out if he actually scored. He actually did score a goal. Got 4 appearances. He played every single match that the French took part in, but he could only get himself 1 goal with an average match rating of 6.7. Onwards and upwards to season 4. Let's hope they can do battle not only at club level but on the international stage one day. It's the end of the 4th season and the 4th campaign battling out together. Let's see how Zadadka's done it. He's gotten Chelsea to a 5th place finish. Quite underwhelming for the Blues, not qualifying for the Champions League. However, they are playing him out at right wing. Interesting choices here. That front 3 trident has the potential to be world class. Never mind, let's check in on his stats. The striker playing right wing just like Mbappe, and he's back to putting up his Marseille numbers. 51 appearances, 14 goals, 2 assists. Actually, he was getting just slightly better numbers at Marseille. However, it is definitely a step in the right direction, outperforming the likes of Isaac in up front. Getting outperformed and outshone by a 33 rated Steven Berghuis, the Dutchman with 21 goals and 11 assists, and Christian Pulisic, Captain America, is single-handedly carrying this Chelsea squad. This time around, he dropped an average match rating of 6.8, and he's in good form, which is nice to see. He's finishing now up to a 76. No more new maxed out stats to report on, however. Let's take a look at his valuation. Now upwards of £186 million for the 22-year-old Frenchman. Now Haaland's regen needed to put in the season of his life, or the performances of his life, if he wanted to garner a move away from Germany. We can see the Norwegian, the starting striker up top for Hamburg. Let's see, he is by far the best player at the club, in excellent form, a crucial first team member, and that bodes well for his stats, you'd think, as he managed 8 goals and 3 assists, 11 goal contributions in 36 appearances. I know you've got to take into context the team he's playing for. They're a relegation threatened side fighting for their life, so who knows, maybe if he gets bought by a better team, he can see his performances improve. Still 2 ratings behind Mbappe's regen, as 99 sprint speed still stands strong, 85 stamina, 72 finishing. He is well on his way. He's just got to increase his production. Maybe it's the team holding him back, maybe it's the league, who knows, as Noah Al-Assami is now valued at £138.5 million, so both regens are valued in that 9-figure range. Only getting paid 50k a week though. Someone give this man a pay rise. Now, we said Noah needed to improve his performances if he wanted to be picked up by a big team, and it seems like the past 4 seasons have been enough for Liverpool to splash £195.3 million on the Norwegian. They have gone all out for Haaland's regen, and he is now going to be playing his football in the Premier League, just like his rival Zadadka. This is going to be a storyline for the ages. Oh boy, this is going to go down a treat. Liverpool versus Chelsea. It's an all Premier League bout, and now we don't have that argument of, oh, one was playing in the Bundesliga whilst one was playing in the Premier League. They're both in the same league, top flight of English football. This is where it's all going to go down. With Liverpool still rocking this 4-3-3 false 9 formation, I don't know what Jurgen Klopp's plans are here. Still having Roberto Firmino, are they going to convert him into a centre forward? Half a decade into this player rivalry, and you can see right here, Chelsea finishing in 5th again. Meanwhile, Liverpool get the edge on them. Al-Assami finishing just 1 place higher and qualifying for the Champions League. He's got one over Mbappe's regen right there as Man City win the league. Al-Assami just keeps on winning. His move to the Premier League has seen him get an FA Cup trophy to his name. 1-0 against City in the final. He's done it in the big dance. Unfortunately, neither side could take home the Carabao Cup, and in the Champions League, what a final it was, 3-3, but it's the wrong English team to win, as the Dadka's Chelsea got knocked out in the semi-finals to Barcelona 5-2 and couldn't set up an all-English final. Meanwhile, it was Al-Assami's Liverpool to get knocked out 3-2 against Spurs in the quarters. Thomas Tuchel still opting for this 5-2-3 formation. He he is deployed here for the Blues, and it looks like his dynamic potential isn't going to be slowing down anytime soon, now bursting into one of the world's best categories, world class. He's been boosted a +3 up to a 91 overall. It's just what he deserves after a season like this, earning himself the top scorer at the club, most likely the Golden Boot. 27 goals and 10 assists, 37 goal contributions in 64 appearances for Mbappe's Regen. Romain is enjoying himself in the domain right now, having his best season to date. At 23 years of age, he is still years away from his prime, which is scary. In excellent form. Has his finishing gone up? No, still only at a 78. No maxed out stats to report on, but he's got 90s in pretty much all the important attributes besides finishing, now valued at £180.5 million. This is when you know it's serious business. He's approaching the 200 million range and could potentially be leading his nation to World Cup glory here in 2026. Him and the French striker Edouard will be leading the lineup top for Les Bleus. Could this be their year to repeat the 2018 success with Mbappe's Regen? Now the big question on everyone's lips, did Alassane get any game time, or was he subjected to being a super sub, an option in off the bench? Let's find out, as he has gone up to an 88 overall. He's been at the club since 2025. However, what does fill me with confidence is that he's a crucial first team member. That's his squad role. However, his game time doesn't really reflect that. I don't know what Klopp's thinking. With 5 appearances, he ended up scoring 3 goals, an average match rating of 7.4, but it's not good enough apparently. When a 33-year-old Morata is getting more game time than you, that's when you know the manager's got to go. It just doesn't make sense. What is this guy thinking? The other strikers at the club, Zapata, David Datro Fofana, has come out of nowhere. 47 appearances, 29 goals for the Ivorian striker. He's nowhere near Alassame's quality, but he's outperforming him tenfold. He's really got to step up his game. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his first season in the Prem. He's got to get used to his surroundings and adapt to the English game, as Haaland's Regen is now valued at £131.5 million. Not really near that 200 mil range, but is definitely pending in the future. Despite his fruitful goal-scoring campaign for Chelsea, Zadatka's ended up finishing 17th in the Golden Boot race for the Premier League. I think most of his goals probably came in Europe, as Alassame's former strike partner at Hamburg, Nemencha, with a 21-goal season. No way. Oh, you're joking me. How perfectly has this gone? It's the Regen battle gone international. We're worldwide, as France and Norway have been drawn in the same group for the 2026 World Cup Group B, as we have all the nations that have qualified. Let's see if they can go far. You can see it right there. France have claimed their 3rd world title. Zadatka's there with Didier Deschamps in the press conference room, celebrating their win, and what a summer it is for Les Bleus. They're number 9 leading the way, as Mbappe's Regen has rewritten history. And just like in 2018, 8 years later, Zadatka's led them to glory. How did they do it though? Let's check in on their journey towards the title, as Norway, Alassane did not show up whatsoever, finishing with 1 point. Bottom of the group, France undefeated on top with 7 points. In the round of 16, they comfortably knocked out Uruguay 2-0. In the quarters, they edged past Romania in a 5-goal thriller 3-2. And in the semi-finals, they eliminate Brazil 1-0. And all the way in the final, they defeat the European champions Germany in 2024 here on the world stage with a 2-1 clutch win. Before we look at Zadatka's stats, we've got to see, what did Alassane do in this tournament? I don't think he carried his nation whatsoever. There you go. Big fat donuts across the board. The Norwegian striker with 3 appearances and no goals. When Alexander Sørloth is scoring more goals than you at a World Cup, that's when you know you've done something wrong. However, on the flip side, I think Zadatka's only got and won the Golden Boot at the World Cup, could potentially have won the player of the tournament as well, dropping an average 76 match rating. In 7 appearances, he scored 6 goals for his nation, and the Frenchman is having an absolute ball. Definitely living up to Mbappe's name, doing him proud on the pitch. An amazing tournament for the 23-year-old Regen, still so far away from his prime. That's what's scary about all this, and he's already a world champion. The world champion's got to shift his focus now towards giving Chelsea a Premier League title. He's done so much for his nation, and let's see if Alassane can get any game time and bounce back from what has been a terrible World Cup for him in Norway. After representing their nations at the 2026 World Cup, Liverpool have come back to finish on top of Chelsea yet again. This time they both qualified in the top 4, getting themselves Champions League football for season 7, and Alassane was oh so close to a Premier League medal, as they are either on goal difference or head-to-head lose out to Man City. Heartbreaking stuff, and the champions didn't even get over 80 points. That is a rarity. I guess Haaland's Regen's got something to boast about. It's kind of been the Mbappe show for now, as they lose out in the Community Shield 1-0 to the champions. Unfortunately, in the FA Cup, Man City win that again. They've they've done the domestic treble. Pardon me, they've only gone and done the domestic quadruple right there, winning in a triumphant display at Wembley 3-0 against Sedadka's Chelsea. Man City just did a clean sweep, a 5-trophy haul as they win against Barcelona on penalties. Where did Chelsea and Liverpool get knocked out? Actually, Liverpool was the only one out of the two to qualify, and they ended up finishing in third in Group D, a group which you'd expect them to easily win, but they ended up bottling it in the Europa League. What happened here? They didn't even win that. Alessami's Liverpool gets knocked out in the round of 16, 2-1 to Juventus, or 3-2 in aggregate. Now let's check in on the lad who surely he's replaced Salah on the right hand side. He has reached that 90 overall, which only means one thing: he's one of the world's best, considered world class, and finally he's gotten the game time he deserves. 60 appearances, 20 goals and 11 assists. He has come back stronger than ever after that World Cup embarrassment. 31 goal contributions in 60 games. That is the kind of season we want to see the Norwegian Viking having. I don't think he's been playing out on the right, considering Harvey Elliott is the best right winger at the club. He's gotten some stupendous stats, so I think they're just forcing him to be a centre forward, or he could be playing on the left hand side. I'm not quite sure what Klopp has been doing. However, he's in excellent form and he's finishing now up to an 81, 84 heading accuracy, 99 ball control as we covered. No real new maxed out stats to report on, but dark greens as far as the eye can see. He's really turning into a gun of a player and he's playing his best game, now valued at £135 million. Could a Real Madrid or Barcelona be knocking on the door, or will he forge himself into Liverpool folklore and become a legend for the Reds? Finishing in third, this is how the Blues are lining up. This time they've pushed Sedadka from the right to the left. They've literally just switched Pulisic and him around. Bawadu, their brand new striker, is going to be playing up top. Let's check in on the 93 rated Frenchman, so close to securing his first Premier League title for the club. Versatile Mbappe regen with stats like this: 58 appearances, he played 2 less games than Alessami, but scored 28 goals and 8 assists. Surely again the top goal scorer for the club, not only in the Premier League, but they did also do quite well in the Europa League. Sights that you love to see: 36 goal contributions in 58 appearances, a 7.3 average match rating. Just what you'd expect from a World Cup winner, a champion. And I think we've got a Pulisic pre-gen right here with Derek Delgado. I think he just spawned into the team. Not quite sure what's going on, but he's rocking the spaghetti arms, can play the exact same positions as Pulisic. That's another little side story going on, but you'd think it'd be way too expensive for a team to just all of a sudden throw all their cash at, unless they've got upwards of 300 mil. There is no way Sedadka will be leaving Chelsea anytime soon. In this market, he is going to be worth a gargantuan amount. Now, financially valued, he has broken through the barrier, 207 million on the dot. Here's how things currently stand at the start of season 7. Just as we go into things here, we've kind of compared them season after season, but not side by side. Currently, there is a +3 in terms of Sedadka's favour for his overall, standing at a 93. Maybe I should start checking in on the Ballon d'Or ceremony to see if they're nominated. We'll see if either of them can get their hands on the Golden Ball, and to see if they can form a little rivalry in that sense. They're not slowing down anytime soon, so we just got to keep simulating. Well, here's your answer. Our 2 regen stars in 2027 not considered in the top 4 best players of the year. Unfortunately, those plaudits go to Ousmane Dembele, Nunes, Rodrigo, and Foden. Could this be a pivotal moment, a turning of the tables, a switch of the guard? As you can see, not only did Liverpool finish runners-up again, Man City are just way too dominant right now, way too powerful, but Sedadka's Chelsea, what is going on? Not even qualifying for Champions League. Europa League could possibly be in doubt. They finished down in 7th. The Blues not having the best of times right before the start of the 2028 Euros. In terms of the Community Shield, Alessami's Liverpool win that one against City. Finally, they get a bit of silverware after what has been quite a few years. No FA Cup glory, and in the Carabao, it was West Ham to win against Arsenal. The Champions League showcased Liverpool finally getting out of the group. In terms of Chelsea, they toppled their group, so they both qualified for the round of 16. Liverpool edged past Atletico. Meanwhile, Chelsea were knocked out to Dortmund on away goals. Heartbreaking stuff. And again, Liverpool getting eliminated in the quarters to Real Madrid 2-1. We're here to find out how Liverpool's season went. Did the Norwegian outperform himself? Has he outdone himself? He is now one of the best players at the club. Could be well and truly overtaking Trent and Alisson. One of the few crucial first team members, as his stats this season, they're not that great. I mean, maybe he had a bit of an injury crisis. Maybe he picked up a long-term injury like an ACL break or something. 29 games, 7 goals and 4 assists. Not riding off the momentum of last year. 11 goal contributions in 29 appearances, and the likes of Elliot or Yazabal definitely outperforming him. Heartbreaking stuff for the Norwegian. Just when we thought he might have overtaken Mbappe's regen or gotten a one-up on him, it's a bit of a bittersweet moment as he receives his runners-up medal in the Premier League again. Here is how he's standing in terms of the financial department, getting paid 250k bags a week, and his financial valuation standing at 133 Great British pounds. £. I'm expecting another anticlimax here. Nothing too great for Zadadka starting on the left for Chelsea in 7th. Definitely not a season to write home about, but can he bring it back? Surpassing Messi and Ronaldo's prime. Here he is, 49 games, 25 goals and 9 assists. Definitely outperforming the likes of Alisami, but in terms of team performance, just was nowhere near their expectations. 34 goal contributions in 49 appearances, an average match rating of 7.2. Chelsea's number 9 with the potential of firing on all cylinders, but the team just didn't live up to it. Welcoming a brand new maxed out stats like 99 short passing and 99 shot power, his valuation surges to £228 million. And 2 years on from their World Cup win, here in 2028, here's how they line up for the Euros. France ditching Zadadka after a bit of a dud season at Chelsea. Wasn't his fault in particular, but they've gone with the strike partnership of Edouard and Ballon d'Or nominated Dembele. Don't know if that's the right choice from Le Bleu as we move on over to Norway, and Alisami and Larsen will be starting in up top. Can they avenge their terrible World Cup performance and do themselves proud in the Euros? As Norway are drawn in with fellow Nordic country Denmark, also Russia and England will join them in Group B. France have been drawn in with Italy, Scotland and Switzerland to face each other in Group D. He's done it again. He's done it again. Romain Zadadka, he's done it again. No way. France have backed up their 2026 World Cup win with a European Championship. This just might put him ahead with no Ballon d'Ors. He's won 2 titles for his nation. How much of an impact he played is still yet to be decided, but here in Group B, Norway made it out in second, only just on goal difference. 4 points was enough to see them through to the second round as France finished on top. In a group with Italy as well, it was 6 points between 3 nations. Scotland finished rock bottom, which is what they're used to. Belgium knocked out England on penalties. Netherlands get knocked out by Italy 1-0, and Norway take down Spain 2-1. Maybe Alisami actually showed up in this tournament as France defeat 2024 European champions 3-2 against Germany. Here in the semi-finals, Italy win on penalties just like they did against Spain in real life against Norway, and France got the better of Belgium to set up a classic clash between France and Italy, and they get their revenge for 2006, winning 2-0, and Zadadka's nation reigns victorious again. We know Zadadka's probably had a tournament to remember, but Alisami actually did show up in this one. 5 appearances, 2 goals and 1 assist, so he got himself 3 goal involvements here in Euro 2028. Meanwhile, over for France, the European champions, world champions, Mbappe's regen couldn't replicate the World Cup numbers he put up in 2026, but with 6 appearances, he scored 2 goals, and his strike partner Ousmane Dembele ended up with 4 goals in 4 appearances. Could he be well poised to win or even be nominated for the Ballon d'Or? These two have yet to be even considered to be in that conversation of the world's best player. Surely now, after these 2 international trophies, a 95 rating, a pretty decent goal scoring record for Chelsea, Mbappe's regen might be one of the favourites to take home the Golden Ball. I'm sorry, Alisami, it was very noble of you to get Norway to the quarterfinals, but it just wasn't enough. Here we go, here's the moment of truth. Who will be 2028's best player? Can't see Alisami nor Zadadka in the nominations, as it's Rodrigo Foden for Man City, Vinicius Jr. of Liverpool, and Osimhen at Bayern Munich. Did any of them become European or world champions? I'm not quite sure. What does Mbappe's regen have to do to win this Ballon d'Or? Who knows? I thought it was definitely going to be a title challenge between these 2 clubs, Liverpool and Chelsea. They've both ended up on 63 points, both at so many similar positions throughout this video. The Reds get the one up on Chelsea yet again as Alisami finishes on top of Mbappe's regen. Man City win the league with flying colours. The citizens are champions, and you've got Spurs and Arsenal finishing above you. This is when you know you've hit peak mediocrity. In the final of the FA Cup, Mbappe's regen got some silverware this season, winning against West Brom in the final at Wembley 2-1. And over in the Carabao, they lost that one out and couldn't replicate that magic as Man City win that one 2-0. Liverpool were involved in the Champions League, finishing 2nd in Group C with 10 points. Alisami's Liverpool get knocked out to eventual finalist Borussia Dortmund 3-2. Now Alisami, I know it's been a pretty rough season. It's been disappointing, but surely there were no injury scares. And here we go. This is where the disappointing news comes in, because there's only been 9 appearances. Surely we've got to change up the formation. It's just not suiting him, and therefore the assistant manager or the coach isn't choosing him. Jurgen Klopp, get your act together. This just isn't it. A 91 rated player. They spent all that money on him just to be warming the bench. 9 appearances, 4 goals and 1 assist, 5 goal contributions. This is definitely the worst season and probably the most disappointing yet. You can take a look at all the attributes and stats you want, but when they aren't being converted onto the pitch, when he isn't showcasing his talents to the world, what is the point? Still with the same valuation of £131 million. The Frenchman definitely has taken the lead and has pulled away in terms of overall margin with a +6 out of 97 overall. I think as soon as he hits 99, or whoever hits 99 first, truly ends this competition. competition, whether they win the Ballon d'Or or not. This guy's a striker playing out on the left. He's been forced out wide, and he's still showing up every season, approaching his prime. Chelsea's number 9, definitely not falling for the curse. 52 appearances, no injuries, 24 goals and 2 assists with an average match rating of 7.0. He got himself 26 goal contributions. I believe they sold Boadu and got themselves a Ibrahimovic regen, keeping him out of the side, but I don't know whether he's playing at striker or left wing. It's a troubling one considering their team sheet is saying he is playing at left wing. Whether that's actually happening is a different story. Outperforming him on club level and especially internationally, there is no doubt who is winning this bout so far. Mbappe's regen is clear. Al-Assami in the mud. As you see this valuation, it's more than £100 million than the Norwegian, valued at £245.5 million on the transfer market. Zadadka, your time is now. If you don't win the Ballon d'Or next season, I don't know when you will. Now here are the 2029 Ballon d'Or nominations, and there are some regular faces in there. We've got the likes of Phil Foden, Dembele, Osimhen again, and Ansu Fati. I think it's just time to accept now it's Zadadka's fate. He's not winning the Ballon d'Or. He's more of a team player, helping his nation towards 2 world titles and getting Chelsea some domestic silverware, but the golden ball just ain't for him. It's the end of season 9. We're going to go and check in on Zadadka's season for Chelsea. How did he do? Finishing 5th in the Prem, below Liverpool again. A Liverpool side who aren't even using Al-Assami to the peak of his powers, to the best of his abilities. Man City is just reigning supreme with ease. 81 points. No one even comes close. Over in the FA Cup, no one made it to the final, and in the Carabao against Man City, I got no idea if they won. It's 2-2. It's anyone's guess. Meanwhile, the Champions League saw Barcelona win it. No wonder why all their players get nominated for the Ballon d'Or. Chelsea and Liverpool, though, nowhere to be seen. Group L, Chelsea only took 1 L, finishing on top with 13 points. They defeated Napoli 3-2. Liverpool got past Lyon in the round of 16. Meanwhile, Chelsea destroyed Bilbao, and then they ended up facing each other. At this stage of their careers, I thought it'd be, you know, a Champions League final or a World Cup final, but no, it's the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Liverpool prevailed, and they ended up losing to Real Madrid 3-2 in aggregate in the semis, and there was a no final for them. Still at 97 overall. Is this his peak? No growth this season for the first time in his career. At 27, he is in the prime time of his career, and the stats he is putting up, there is no doubt he is undeniably the best player in the world. 40 goals and 11 assists, 51 goal contributions in 67 appearances for the Frenchman who could do it all in attack. Forget Mbappe, Romain has just killed it. I think he found the perfect club. He was struggling at Chelsea for a bit, but averaging a 7.5 match rating, world-class ability right there. Just take a look at the attributes. They speak for themselves. Do I even need to say them? Dark green's literally everywhere besides his defensive attributes. Surely the Ballon d'Or would cap off a lovely regen battle win, as he is now valued at £240 million, getting paid 380k. Meanwhile, with Haaland's regen, Al-Assami, I've got no confidence in him whatsoever. Can't even break through to the starting 11. The formation is holding him back, and the coach isn't going to sell him because no team can afford him. This is the kind of season he puts up. 16 appearances, 3 goals and 2 assists. We need to get him out of Liverpool at all costs. He is nowhere near the heights of Mbappe's regen, not even considered for the Ballon d'Or in a million years, and he's stuck at a 91 overall. Could become a bit of a bittersweet ending here. He had so much promise, valued at £128 million. It wasn't to be, and Anfield have lost a possible cult hero and a club legend thanks to their manager's incompetence. We're going for one last hurrah, the 2030 World Cup and then the Ballon d'Or ceremony to see who the best player in 2030 is. We'll scroll down. France right here in Group E alongside Bulgaria, Poland, and South Africa. Norway, where you at? Norway, nowhere near the World Cup stage. Unless I've missed them here, I can't see Norway anywhere. Wow, wow, wow. Norway can't qualify for the World Cup, and Al-Assami left in the dust. I think that's the final nail in the coffin. And in stupendous fashion, it is magisterial stuff from France and Romain Zadadka. They are crowned World Cup champions again, adding a 4th star to that badge. Group E saw them just advance to the next round, as in the round of 16, they took down Egypt 2-0. Over in the quarterfinals, they saw past Northern Ireland. They were like England, gifted a pretty easy route to the final. Then they faced Uruguay in the semis, 3-1 against them, and over in the World Cup final. It was an all-European affair, with France coming out on top 2-1, and Le Bleu reigned victorious over the world. No Norwegian stats to look up for Al-Assami and his boys, but the world champions, they deserve it. They're the best team on the pitch. The goals were very much spread out between the attackers and the midfielders. 7 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists for Romain at 97 overall. This man is nowhere near finished, but we're going to have to bring the video to a close soon, as he's going to have to give the Ballon d'Or a crack one more time. However, the one prize that has evaded Zadadka throughout his career, he needs that Ballon d'Or. Let's see if he's even nominated in 2030. Here's the moment, the magic moment. We all know he deserves it. What is this man got to do? Has he got to solve world hunger? Has he got to cure cancer to win the Ballon d'Or? He in 2030 again. It's just not coming home. It's not coming home for Zidane and his Ballon d'Or. And that is where we're going to have to draw this regen battle, this regen rivalry to a close. Let me know down in the comments below who you thought won. I'm pretty sure it's obvious, but also let me know who is your favorite. Who won you over, as we have two contrasting storylines. Remain at Zidane, everything possible besides the Ballon d'Or. Meanwhile, we've got Noah Al-Assami, who didn't qualify for a World Cup, failed to get out of the group in one, and was unable to carry his country. Haaland's regen also held back by Liverpool not playing him in his actual position. Kind of hindered his career. I would have loved to see what he could do at another club, at just another club in the Premier League, because I'm sure he's got so much more in the locker than we've seen in this video. There you go, the Mbappe regen taking on Haaland's regen. The series is back. Let me know down in the comments below if you want it to return. What rivalry should we do next? I loved following their careers for 10 years. It has been a roller coaster ride, and hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop it a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications for more content coming your way. I've been Sir BCHD. As always, have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the very next video.